What's up, everyone? This is Destroyer229, and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 5 Royal. Last time, we began our trek once again through Tokyo on the journey of the Phantom Thieves. We explained a little bit about how exactly the project is going to go, but there's still a lot of just general tutorial stuff that we're going through and general changes. Yeah. But don't worry, we'll get to all the new stuff soon enough. In this episode, we're going to go ahead and go straight to bed. There's not anything we can do, not any activities we can go on. So we're just going to go to sleep and jump on over to the next new thing that'll happen.
Hey!
Huh. I didn't realize that was there. I guess you learn new things even if you don't see it on the first playthrough. Well, it's like I say, you learn new things every time you play a Persona game. And now to freaking find the Ginza line.
I am the Pillager of Twilight, Arsene!
What the?
I am the rebel soul that resides within you. If you so desire, I shall consider granting you the power to break through this crisis.
Give me your power, Arsene.
Very well.
Who the hell are you? Guard! Start by killing that one! You'll learn the true strength of my men!
This power of mine is yours! Kill them however you want. Run wild to your heart's content!
So a few things that are new with that scene. First off, you'll notice the change in Arsene's text box. That text box is exclusively used for any sort of spoken dialogue from a persona or a regular shadow. It doesn't quite work with, like, the humanoid forms of the boss shadows, or any shadow that is basically the shadow of another person. But when they turn into a monster, or, you know, an actual persona, then it will have that different text box. Also, the tutorial is pretty different, because Arsene doesn't tell you what to do.
You're mine.
Also, you'll see that I have quite a bit more HP and SP. Part of the thing that was carried on from New Game Plus that we saw last time was that any sort of training that I did to increase either of those carried over. So that's pretty nice, and will definitely help when we actually go through Kamoshida's castle.
With this power...
But for the time being, let's continue.
What? What was that just now?
You little...
Ha! You like that, you son of a bitch?
Dude, the key!
You mean this? Okay, it's locked.
Damn you!
Hey, what was that just now?
Another part out.
Your clothes. Whoa, it went back to normal. Ah!
And back
You
there.
bastards! God, this is effing nuts. Anyways, let's scram. You lead the way.
Goddamn thieves! After them! Don't let them escape! Damn you!
What was that?
And I was just going through that dialogue because there's another thing that I forgot to mention. And saw this in an earlier scene, but didn't think to bring it up. And that's the fact that various characters also have different portraits. So you'll notice Ryuji had a number of different portraits that he didn't have in the previous game. I believe this is pretty much limited to just the Phantom Thieves characters. I don't recall there being differing portraits. I mean, they might have changed a little bit, but for the most part, only Phantom Thieves got brand new cutouts. So, just wanted to bring that up. Not really going to show it because, just like with the spoken dialogue, not really much worth it to actually go over every little scene where that's different. So, just wanted to bring that up. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, so after all the nonsense with Kamoshida, there's actually a few things that I can bring up, and that's mostly concerning stuff that's just brought over from New Game Plus. So, for one, all the money was transferred over, and you also see something that's called the Thieves' Den. If you're playing for the first time, you wouldn't get access to this. We'll go over the Thieves' Den in a lot more detail when you would normally gain access to it on a very first playthrough. It is something that crosses over across all playthroughs, but I'll hold off on it for now. Also notice that I have all my end game stuff. So everything that I kind of had, I got a new just beginning weapon, all of the different armors that I had at the end of my first playthrough, as well as all of my various accessories. And I basically kept every single one of those. You might have seen something maybe pop up a little bit. We'll go into more detail about various accessories when we head into Kamoshida's palace proper. So once we have everyone together to actually infiltrate it, then I'll go into a bit more detail about changes to accessories. There's also just a crap ton of items. Got all my skill cards, I got my permanent lockpick, all my different key items. Only certain items got carried over to New Game Plus. It looks like all of the various... that carried over. That's interesting. Looks like all of the Valentine's Day chocolate was carried over. So that's interesting. And it looks like also the various... Was it all the key items? I don't think all the key items were carried over, but definitely like the late game ones, like the end gifts, and of course what we saw before with the, what was mentioned before when it was the New Game Plus transfer. We got our fishing rods, the dart set, and a cue, which these two will go into more details at another time. The rods function exactly the same. They're used for fishing, you know, fish that was available in the previous game. But the darts and the cue set will go over at a later time when we can actually use those. Took a while to load that in. However, we need to head on over to the faculty office. So let's go ahead and head on in there, and I'll jump ahead to the next change. Okay, so after the class introduction, there's actually something else that is kind of new. That's if we head on over to the 3rd floor. We'll see a brand new kind of mini scene.
No. Impressive, huh?
This isn't funny. Wanna go home?
Bye-bye. I'm looking forward to it.
No way.
See ya. Yes! Bye-bye.
So yeah, little mini scene. That is one of the things with the new scenes, if they involve Shujin. It's just that you'll see Haru kind of pop up a little bit. More of like a, hey, she's here. Okay, let's not focus on her. A little bit of a shame, considering this is me we're talking about, but whatever. Let's continue on. I think I saw this before, but if we say this...
Do you really think you have a say in this?
By the by, have you come to appreciate the Metaverse Navigator?
Pretty sure you can't actually say that in the in your first playthrough. I think you actually do need to have, like, basically max guts, or at least a high degree of guts, to be able to say that. Remember Chaotica playing just the beginning portion of the game, and there was actually a response that required stats, which is not something that you see in Persona 5. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Look, isn't that her?
You mean that one with the red ribbon? I guess so.
She's so thin. It's not fair. I've got my hair in a ponytail too.
Okay, and what's that got to do with being thin?
Please, take my seat. My station's coming up.
Are you sure? Oh, then.
Oh, wow, what speed. I mean, excuse me, that seat was for this lady. Oh.
Hey, do you want me to wake him up for you?
It's all right. I can understand his position as well. I'm sorry I couldn't be any help.
It's all right, dearie. Don't you worry.
Please allow me to carry your luggage at least.
Thank you. Ain't it heavy, though?
Not at all. I train plenty. Pardon me. Thank you so much for earlier.
With what? I didn't do anything.
For speaking up when I offered my seat on the train. You're a second year at Shujin Academy, correct? I'm a first year there myself. Thanking you totally slipped my mind back on the train, and I didn't want to be rude to my senpai. Please excuse me.
Well, you didn't need to do that, but I appreciate the thought. Huh. Well, that was interesting. Anyway, we should probably make sure we aren't late again. Let's head on into school.
Class is starting.
Yes?
What's the answer?
So this is another thing that's different. Every single school question is essentially remixed or completely new. There are similar looking questions from what was in the original game, but for the most part, with maybe one or two exceptions, they're all just a little bit different. So that means we have to show off every single school question. Cool. But anyway, the answer to this question is villains.
This is it. Correct.
So yes, there's gonna be a lot more school time within Royal. But that's just how it goes. It's weird seeing all of these maxed out already. You'll also notice that it was a little bit more streamlined where the extra text box didn't show up. You'll notice that as well.
Shoot. I had a feeling there would be guards here. It looks like we're going to have to start fighting our way forward.
Looks like it.
For real?
Oh boy. I'll just teach you the basics of battle for now. You'd better not forget all of this. Always try to ambush enemies instead of rushing everywhere headlong. Attack from behind whenever you can. You'll need to rip their masks off to momentarily break the control that the palace ruler has over them. If you succeed, your opponent will be caught off guard, allowing us to jump in for a preemptive attack.
So, ambushing enemies isn't really any different.
So, we want to get the jump on him and make the first strike. Okay, got it.
You know you're just going to be watching, right? You don't have a persona. But anyway, let's go.
But the reason I'm keeping it in is once we do ambush the enemy,
Now's our chance to strike! Go!
hear that? It is a brand new battle theme. So basically, whenever you ambush an enemy, the battle theme will change from Last Surprise to this track. So, I hope you guys enjoy the new track, because we're going to be hearing it a lot when we go through palaces. But anyway, you'll also notice, because New Game Plus run,
Fire attacks are usually...
Jack-o'-lantern is already recognized, even though I'm not sure if it was actually there during the other tutorial fight, but whatever. Not that that matters. Also, because I equipped my endgame weapon, this happens.
Go down.
Never mind.
Spectacular victory!
Never mind. I did a crap ton of damage on a pixie, and I thought it was because I equipped that weapon. Should've known better. I really should have. I should have known it's tied from Persona. Whatever.
Power courses through me.
Anyway, look at that. Melee attack and defense. Ah, new game plus.
Okay.
The shadows probably won't come in here.
How can you tell?
There's a lack of distortion here, meaning the ruler's control over this area is weak.
Is this a classroom?
Now do you understand? This place is another reality that the ruler's heart projects.
This is Kamoshida's reality? Shit makes no sense at all.
One could say it's a world in which one's distorted desires have materialized. I call such a place a palace.
A palace?
This is happening because he thinks the school is his own castle.
So it became like this because he just thought of it like that? That son of a bitch!
You must really hate this Kamoshida guy.
Hate doesn't even cover how I feel. Everything is that asshole's fault.
I don't know what happened between you two, but don't let your emotions get the better of you. His lackeys are everywhere inside. You're curious about your outfit, aren't you?
I mean, a little bit.
Yeah, I'm curious as hell about it too.
That's also because of this world.
More stuff that makes no sense.
Anything distorts according to how a ruler pleases within his palace. A school can turn into a castle like this, after all. In order to prevent such distortions, one must hold a powerful will of rebellion. Your appearance is a manifestation of that. It's the image of rebellion that you hold within.
I'm so fed up with all this. I'm more curious about you than his clothes. What the hell are you anyways?
I'm a human. An honest-to-God human.
No, you're obviously more like a cat.
This is, well, it's because I lost my true form. I think.
You think?
But I do know how to regain my true form. The reason why I snuck in here was for a preliminary investigation of those means. Well, I ended up getting caught, though. Besides, I've been tortured by Kamoshida too. I'm gonna make him pay for sure.
What is this, a comic book? This is seriously crazy.
If we're gonna keep going, we should hurry along. I'll be counting on your skills this time too, rookie. Got it?
Don't worry, I'm not gonna force it all on you. I thought it might help, so... I brought this just in case. It's a model gun, though, so it only makes sounds.
Have you been carrying that this whole time?
That's a toy!
But it looks totally real, so it'll at least fake him out. Oh, I brought some medicine, too. You know what they say, providing is something. Huh? Huh?
So you were planning this from the start. Well, fine. If you're ready to go, we'll resume our infiltration.
Okay, well, thanks, I guess.
There are probably still sentries making their rounds out there. Let's use this time to hash out our current situation.
So the reason why I kept that scene in, even though there wasn't really much any changes, is mostly as a sort of lead into the safe room. Safe rooms, while functionally the same, do have a bit of a difference compared to the previous game. And that's the fact that there's not really any sort of consulting. I mean, there kind of is, and we'll see that once we actually get everyone together. but a lot of the time it will just be characters who have something to just say if you go up and talk to them.
Damn it.
Well,
So yeah, once we get to the actual consult, because there is still a consult option, but generally talking about progression through a palace is a bit different. At the very least, you can talk to individual party members and they will give their own impressions on the current situation.
Damn it.
I mean, that doesn't really add much to the conversation, but whatever. Let's go ahead and head on out, and I'll meet you guys for the next new thing.
now then.
As soon as I get into a proper transition.
Okay, let's go. Oh, there's a guard on duty here. The way to the training hall should be just beyond those bars.
So, what are we gonna do? Do we gotta fight it?
Seems like it. Just don't let it notice you beforehand. If it does, the palace's security level will rise.
I guess this is a good time to mention changes to the security level as well. Even though, again, functionally it works the same, there is a slight difference with the security level. For one, I don't believe you're necessarily booted out of the palace if it reaches 100% like in the previous game.
And what do we do if that happens? Run away?
Well, the security level will go back down if we can beat more enemies without getting noticed.
That sounds, complicated.
Fine. I'll put together some info about the security level. This is crucial to successful palace infiltration. So make sure you actually read it, okay?
I guess I should basically mention this now because we don't have access to Third Eye right now. The main change to the security level is that when you enter a palace, it doesn't start at 0%. Instead, it starts at 40%. There are ways to make the initial level lower, but we'll get into that later. For now, just know that whenever you enter a palace for the first time, the default security level is 40%. Getting rid of it is the same as it was in the original game, but you're gonna have a bit of a harder time getting the ambush on enemies initially, at least for the first couple fights. It doesn't take much to get it back down to 0, but it's still something to be aware of. So let's just make sure that we're able to get to him.
Show me your true form.
And we can begin this fight.
Persona.
So yeah, again, just something to be aware of. I should also probably put Morgana on. Ah, jeez. Mandrakes don't like Morgana. Let's go ahead and actually switch him to direct commands.
Persona.
Not this.
And then just attack Mandrake.
Sorry about that.
Well, I don't need to necessarily heal right now. Actually,
A spectacular victory!
Yeah, super powerful melee weapons might be the way to go for the time being. Even though it's not stupidly overpowered, because strength stat is also important, super powerful weapons help. Also, Arsene leveled up.
All right.
So yeah, there you go. I guess that is a good indication to show what I was just describing. Again, taking down enemies will lower it, running away from battles will heighten it a little bit, enemies see you will raise it a lot. It works exactly the same. Again, it starts at 40 instead of 0. Let's continue. Okay, so, kind of keeping this part in because there's not that much to cut, but...
Hey, have you seen anyone who looks like an intruder? No, nobody yet.
Shoot. I had a feeling there would be a lot of enemies. It'd be impossible to dodge all of them.
Then what do we do? Should we try and take him down like before?
It's not that simple. We still have a long way to go, so we should be conserving energy.
I see. Sorry. Damn it. I wish I could fight. I'd at least be able to help out a little bit. But all I got is this toy from earlier. I'm such a loser.
Huh? Do you mean that gun?
Yeah, it looks real and all, but doesn't shoot anything.
I see. Well, there is a way. Okay, we'll use that to take down the enemies.
What? Were you listening to me? It don't even shoot pellets.
Don't worry, I'm sure this'll work. Attack away, frizzy hair.
You got it. Just leave it to me.
Dude, I keep saying it's not gonna fire anything.
You have the gun with you, right? Point it at a shadow and fire.
So, the reason why I kept this in is that Royal basically changes how guns function on a fundamental level. Now, using them is still the same. You just press up on the control or the D-pad, and then you can fire away using your guns. So, in battle, they do function the same, but there is a huge difference. Oh, hey, it's still the same one there. There is a huge difference on what exactly guns do.
How about that? Surprised? There are plenty of instances where rapid fire is going to be more useful than swinging your knife. Of course, you can run out of ammo, but using it all up does more good than letting it collect dust.
And that's the reason why. Ammo is used fundamentally differently within Royal. So, the way that ammo works is that in the original game, you essentially had enough for 2 full clips. But you only had that amount of ammo to last you throughout the entire palace exploration. In Royal, this is changed. Instead, you only carry 1 clip on you. But that clip refills at the end of every battle. So no matter what, you will always have full ammo whenever you begin a fight. This makes guns infinitely more helpful.
Alright, I'll show you my weapon too. You see?
So yeah, rather than just only using them to knock down enemies like how I used them in the original game, guns are a lot more helpful. Because you can just quick fire and always get your ammo back whenever you enter a new battle, it makes guns a lot more easier to use and a lot more user-friendly. That way you're not having to just conserve all of your ammo. Again, you do have less bullets to use in any given battle, but it is a worthwhile trade-off.
For real?
Listen to this. Let's get them! Our ammo's replenished. Go on, dump it into the enemy.
So, as you can see, even though we emptied our clip before, now we have another round of 8. You'll also notice the difference because in the original game, it had said ammo of 16 before. So, no matter what, on a default gun for Joker, you will always have 8 ammo at the start of any given battle. At least without any sort of modifications. But with Royal, we can just pump them full of leg. So yeah, guns, super nice this time around. And you'll definitely see me using them a lot more often. So yes, tactics are still the same. You can set them earlier than the game tells you about it. Blah, 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 blah.
What do you want to do?
Go ahead and go to direct commands, please.
Yep.
Okay, so now that we've seen how good guns are in this game, I'm going to go ahead and get my super powerful guns. Oh, New Game Plus is great. I'll explain how we get these guns at a later point, but god dang it, this is just amazing. Anyway, I'll meet you guys on over at the next new thing. So let's go.
Alright, the first move is ours.
Let me see how powerful my gun is.
Okay. Scratch one enemy.
Pretty much one-shots them. New Game Plus! New Game Plus! Also, loading screens are significantly faster. I should also bring that up, even though that should be obvious seeing as this is a PS4 game compared to the PS3 original.
Let's go.
Okay, so one other just brief thing that's just a little bit different when it comes to this area here. Now this isn't really any different. What I wanted to show was this one. This one in the original game was kind of weird because there was just a beam that was in the way when the guy got hit with a cannon ball. But yeah, now it's removed. I always thought it was weird that there was just the beam right there to stop the point of impact. But they removed it. So, hooray! Anyway, I'll meet you guys when we get to the next new thing.
We're surrounded.
I'll kill you! I'll kill you because King Kamoshida told us! I'll kill because that's what he wants!
You might think, well, hold up. You're in New Game Plus, and you have a lot of cool new things. Can you get rid of these bicorns? And the answer is no. Like, there's no way to take down any of them. They will always just kind of
There's more of them?
survive.
This is bad. Failure!
Can't be.
So, yeah. No matter what, force loss.
What troublemakers that bother King Kamoshida with trifle matters?
Kamoshida's cognition ain't changing, right? And I'll act like the troublemaker I am. Let's do this, Captain Kidd!
It's weak to electricity. Let's go for that! The enemy's down!
Persona! Captain Kidd!
Nice! The enemy's down!
Persona!
I am a loyal subject of the glorious King Kamoshida. So why have I lost?
It just proves that Kamoshida ain't anything special.
Especially to the power of gun.
So, about this plan to take down Kamoshida.
Dude, we're in public. Lower your voice, okay?
Ah, right.
We'll talk about it tonight, alright?
You're home. I take it you actually went to school today?
Yep. For the full day, too.
I guess you learned your lesson after what happened yesterday. As long as you're not getting into trouble, it's fine by me. I don't know what you've been up to, but trust me, you'll be gone if you start causing problems. In case you forgot, your life is not a free one right now.
I'm well aware of that. Oh. Yep. Alright, got it.
Are you even listening to me? Just stay away from bad influences, okay?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm gonna head home for the night. I'll lock the store up. Don't go wandering out.
You got it. Okay, so a few things. One, there was that little post scene after the end of just hanging out with Ryuji. Doesn't really do a whole lot, but it's new. And also, you'll notice the little sakura flowers, you know, the cherry blossoms, that are just kind of on the phone. This happens occasionally, but there are sometimes just effects that are on your phone to correlate with the seasons. It admittedly doesn't happen all too often, but it's a neat little detail for when it does happen. Anyway, I'm not entirely sure how long this has been going on, but I've been recording for about 2 hours now. So, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day here. So, next time on Let's Play Persona 5 Royal. We've got quite a few of the new and changed mechanics talked about, I guess, but there's still tutorial stuff. After all, we don't have access to being able to spend time however we want yet. So, hooray! By that, I mean that in the most sarcastic way possible. Anyway, it shouldn't be that much longer now before we actually have free reign, at least somewhat, over where we can go. And then we can really go into a lot of the new things that are out and around Tokyo that were introduced or changed in Royal. But for right now, that's still tutorial and early plot stuff. So cool. So until next time, everyone, take care.